Someone who is holistically thriving is someone who has embraced simplicity as a primary guiding virtue of their life. And the world that we live in pressures us to live incredibly complicated lives. There are so many complexities to our way of life. But one of the ways that we actually radically simplify our lives is by making a commitment. We actually simplify our life when we make a commitment, because in the absence of being committed to something, we're always kind of floating around and having to make a lot of decisions on a day-to-day basis about where we're headed and what we're doing. But once we commit ourselves to a path, then we just get to undertake the steps of walking it. And so commitment is this simplifying virtue. And I want to give an example of how commitment can simplify your life. I have made a commitment to spend the first week of the next year fasting. I'm going to be going through a detox, a physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual detox. And I've made that commitment. It's really simple. And when I commit to doing this Master Cleanse detox, I'm committing to only drinking this lemonade juice for 5 days. And the mind wants to make it really complicated and probably thinks that's really difficult if it's never done that before, because, we project our fears onto the future so easily and unconsciously. But the fact is that when you commit yourself to drinking a gallon of lemonade a day for 5 days, and that's all you are really consuming, then you have just simplified your life in one of the most shocking and profound ways. When you undertake to cleanse in this way, you get to see the power of making that one decision. And the power of commitment is the power of deciding to do it even when you don't feel like it. Because the path from where any of us is in our fitness or in our diet or in our sort of emotional IQ, our journey to being in the healthiest and most mature and loving relationships possible, wherever we're starting off on our journey, to get to where we're going, we're going to be required to do things consistently that are different than the way we've been doing it before. To get to someplace new, you have to do something different. And to get to someplace worthy of going, you have to do that consistently for a while. And unfortunately, you're guaranteed to not feel like doing it sometimes. And if you don't do it because you don't feel like doing it, you're guaranteed not to get the results that you are making this commitment to achieve. Because if doing whatever you felt like doing worked, then you would already have that. But you have results in your life you have yet to achieve because you haven't committed yourself to those results and committed yourself to a concrete path to achieving them. And so I'm staging a New Year's revolution this year. And the New Year's revolution is an inner revolution where we work with the medicine of commitment for 1 month. You give me 1 month and I absolutely guarantee you that you'll barely recognize yourself on the other side of our 30-day revolutionary journey. And we're going to do some cleansing for the first week, and then we're going to do a bunch of integration work that is about doing our reps about committing ourselves to a pathway of holistic thriving and wellness, and accepting a discipline of daily and weekly practices which cultivate the kind of wellness that we are seeking, and which do it in totally radically different and new ways than we've tried in the past. Because again, if what you did before worked, you wouldn't need something else. But that's what got us to here, and now there's something brand new that takes us to where we've never been before in terms of the zenith of our holistic thriving, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, relationally. That every level of our life, materially, is thriving, is flourishing. That's totally achievable for you. And that achievement hinges upon your level of commitment and your consistency of follow through. And you're gonna have to clear some shit out to make room for what's coming. And you're gonna have to commit yourself to being a beginner on a path of holistic healing, and to show up consistently for the journey of practicing and anchoring these new pathways in the brain and in the body. We're going to practice breathing different. We're going to practice moving differently through the world. We're going to be conscious of our posture every minute of our time together so that we can cultivate a regenerative posture which helps us to think more clearly and feel more crisply. We're going to cultivate an attitude of gratitude and love, an invincible attitude of gratitude and love that we bring to every moment of our lives, that supports us in navigating the hard moments and celebrating the beautiful ones. And we're going to do this with a whole community of folks who are equally committed to that level of transformation in their lives. We are all stepping toward a greater yet to be than we have ever experienced before. We all are capable of being healthier than we've ever been in our lives. And the first thing we have to do is remember that we can. You can be that healthy. You can be the most beautiful version of yourself that you have ever met. There's another whole dimension of you waiting to be brought forth into the world. But that version's gonna take some courage. You're gonna go on a hero's journey to bring that part of you out into the world, to achieve that level of harmony inside of yourself and in your relationships. You're gonna have to try some new shit. And I got you. I got you. I've spent decades cultivating this holistic protocol for preparing ourselves and then moving through the process of physical and emotional detoxification, and then integrating a whole new identity that's based on a vision and a purpose and a sense of meaningful service in the world. Yeah. Surrounded by a community who are all equally committed to that. And that's the key. Because most of us in our healing journeys are an anomaly in our environment. It takes a lot of courage to rise above the center of gravity of your culture or your family. It takes a lot of energy when the people around you don't reflect the level of wellness and the commitment to that you really want in your life. So that's why the Human Thriving Project is forming, and that's why we are bringing the New Year's revolution, an inner revolution of radical transformation, unprecedented metamorphosis. 30 days. 30 days is all I ask. But the sooner you commit yourself to that journey, the sooner you make the decision that you are going to be the best and healthiest version of you in 2026, starting now, then the better prepared you're going to be on January 2nd when we start drinking only the golden nectar for 5 days straight before we do that liver and gallbladder flush. So the sooner you lean in, the sooner you commit, the better prepared you're going to be for it. And there's a beautiful journey of preparation awaiting you in the Holy Shift movement, where we're shifting from this dualistic frame of reference to holistic practices and a thriving community. So check it out. Check the link. I'll see you there. I love you. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. I love you.